Hello, Potter Than Hellions. Welcome. Damn, wrong podcast. Hey, this is Steve from the Potter Than Hell podcast. Welcome to the show. This is the Shout It Out Loudcast. But before we get going, I want to ask my guy something. BC, are you feeling low with no place to go?
Yeah, and I'm thinking I'm going to scream.
Hey, BB, do you recall Days in the City?
Yeah, and I think back, oh, what a pity.
And hey, Dylan, do you feel uptight on a Saturday night?
Yeah, man, my heater's broken. I am so tired.
Well, I'm going to throw another log on the fireplace and listen to the Shout It Out Loudcast. Oh, yeah.
Steve, stand by my side, and I'll be next to you.
Oh, God. Shut the fuck up, BC.
Hey, what's up there, Kiss Army? Tom Zeus with the final episode of 2020 of Shout It Out Loudcast, episode 103, year in review, 2020. We're putting this shit in the rear view mirror. Tom, how you doing, buddy?
The only good thing about 2020 has been this show, and it's time to sign off with this episode.
Yeah, time to say, hit the bricks, 2020. We're all through with you.
Exactly. Yep. And this is it.
Yeah, so year in review, time to get a little bit sentimental. Oh. And we hope that everybody had a Merry Christmas by the time this episode played. Everybody's holidays, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you guys celebrate, Festivus, all of it went well. Everybody's safe. Everybody protected themselves. And we keep everybody alive and safe for 2021.
Yeah, hope you guys had a great holiday. Like Zeus said, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. Our Canadian friends are celebrating Boxing Day. That's a big one up there. So, all the holidays, hope everybody is doing well and getting ready to kiss 2020 goodbye. Hint, hint.
Exactly. So, guys, what we always do, and you know that, nothing's changed. We go back to last week's episode. Last week was our Kissmas extravaganza, Kissmas 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Where, Tom, we were visited by by Private Cusano and 3 ghosts. Kiss ghosts.
I hope people finish the episode by then, because people like 3 hours, and then to top it off, we dropped a bonus episode this week too, another 3 hours.
I think someone said that our last 2 episodes are longer than the Super Bowl games,
and they're better than the Super Bowl too.
Yeah, it's
so yeah, exactly. So poll episode for last week. So we did our Kissmas wish. Kissmas past, present, future. Great episode. We loved it. We hope you guys did too, with tons of our friends. It was a ton of fun. And so we narrowed it down to 4 options. That's all Twitter allows for Kissmas wishes. So it was Kiss streaming app, Vinny staying in the band longer, Bruce Kulick and Eric Singer back after the reunion, or taking the makeup off after the end of the road tour concludes. The winner was the Kiss streaming app with 35%. Bruce and Eric back after the reunion, 30%. Vinny staying longer, 19%. And only 16% agree with me that they should take the makeup off after the end of the road tour. So, yeah. Zeus, not Joey Casada, you're the winner of the poll this week.
Yeah, I'm on a winning streak, Tom. I'm usually the one getting his ass kicked in these polls by you.
Yep.
But the last couple, I've sneaked out some wins. And I'm sure we had some feedback. Let's hear it, brother.
Yeah. As always, I love it louder. Would love the app. Spent some time and looked into it. The tech is easy. Yeah. Well, thanks. Great. You work for Gene now? Sterlino, Creatures of the Night and Lick It Up are by far the best 80s albums, so I'd want Vinny to stay longer. A lot of people loving the streaming app. Dave G, I wish Bruce Kulick and Eric Singer stayed in Kiss after the reunion tour. I have no idea why he left. I also wish they did their final tours out of makeup. Okay. LT Shoes, definitely the streaming service, would pay extras for that. Bruno McDonald, the Revenge Show was musically by far the best I saw them play, both in musicianship and song selection. Had that incarnation of the band returned, we might have been spared some of the embarrassments of the past 20 years. Yikes.
Oh my God.
Ooh, whew. Zandon, I chose Vinny for the songwriting, which was difficult because I also love the idea of Bruce and Eric back after the reunion. Twisted Kister, Bruce and Eric coming back would have been a dream come true. I've often thought of a tour with an unplugged set in the middle with all 6 guys. And then I love this. Sometimes I forget Kiss fans are very sensitive. You know, we got to come in here. You know, Eric is still in the band, right? Yes.
No.
Yes.
We didn't know that.
Yes, we do know that. However, we're referring to Eric Singer and Bruce Kulick without makeup coming back after the reunion, meaning start the revenge lineup again. That's what we meant by, we don't mean Eric Catman now. Oh, boy. Oh, here we go, Zeus. Joey Casada says, what do I win?
Bag of bricks upside the head.
You win nothing because look, this is ridiculous.
He has been. I don't think that it's been confirmed. I joke with him, but I've been talking about the app too, and I know publicly. I think I said it first. Mm-hmm. Now, what do I win by me saying that I said it first before Joey? Nothing. I win nothing.
Yeah.
And I bet you somebody said it before I said it. It doesn't mean anything. Joey could have thought about it and said it to 3 other people before me. But when I first heard him say it, I had already said it. Right. It's not a big deal. I don't care. I'm just giving Joey a hard time. But the fact of the matter is the app thing is a great idea. Me and him have both been championing it. And I hope they take us up on it and we'll look into it. Yeah. But yeah, you're not winning shit.
Sorry, buddy. We love you, but you win. Like I said, you win another free guest appearance on here, free of charge.
You get to go on a Kiss podcast is what you win.
Exactly. Next comment comes from Vincent Roman Maroney. I'm sorry, Vincent.
Oh, wait a minute. It's the end of the year. You got to build that up again and say it because he's getting a theme song.
Okay. So once again, we have he's always interactive with us on the polls. We love that. Vincent Roman Maroney.
I would like to direct this to the distinguished members of the panel. You lousy corksuckers. You have violated my Fargan rights. This Samanambachin country was founded so that the liberties of common patriotic citizens like me could not be taken away by a bunch of Fargan iceholes like yourselves.
I agree that Lick It Up and Creature of the Night were outstanding. While I don't want to diminish Vinny's contribution, I feel that was more of a Paul and Gene concentration. I thought Vinny had great chemistry with writing, not so much with playing. Okay. So that's some poll feedback, and as we always do, let's go back to general episode feedback. That was the extravaganza. Boy, we had a good time with that one. Twisted Kister. Hopefully someone is bombarding Kiss and Bruce Kulick to get those soundboard tapes that Bruce has released. Ooh, that would be good. Murph said this episode was even longer than the actual 12 Days of Christmas, but better. Lovely Lance Lumley, our buddy there, Lance, couldn't stop laughing at Sonny's Kiss car section. We all know the Shandy Silver would sell out just on pre-orders. Christmas wish for me is continued success for your show, and thanks for the entertainment this year, which was well needed. So that's why we love Lance, because he can make a joke and then be serious. Mm-hmm. Our buddy Joel Hoffman, epic show over 3 hours. I've been nothing but a huge fan of your show since number 1. You guys are really the most entertaining and funny. Your show and a few others make it all worthwhile during this week, and listening every Friday night and Saturday morning to you guys is great. I also just bought my wife the Kiss Dodge Love Gun. It's iridescent pink and purple and blue, depending on how fast it's going. Pooney, your imagination never ceases to amaze me. And then, of course, Pooney came up, started posting pictures of more creations with his vehicles. Baco, Cobras and Fire podcast. Fun stuff, but holy fuck. I probably didn't need those last two or three Coors Lights. Fun show. Thanks for having me.
What did you say to me after we hung up talking with him?
As soon as we finished with Baco, I said to Zeus, you could tell Baco was kind of a little pie-eyed, couldn't you there? A little overserved for the performance. But he said to his excuse, he thought we were starting earlier. But that's okay. It was great. That we love Baco.
You mean we went on longer than we anticipated?
Never happens. Never.
Yep.
I like this line from Twisted Kisser. I wasn't ready for Baco positive. Then he says the Wicked Lester release is ridiculous. Meaning almost zero effort would be needed. They could easily produce it. It doesn't have to be a big mass release. Then Xanon Black says, I demand for Carrie Stevens to host Festivus in 2021. And then it was funny because then Deuce and Carrie, I don't know if they're dating now or whatever, but they got into this love fest on Twitter. So that was great. But no, tons of feedback as always. We love you guys for it. It makes the episode that much more fun when you guys can kind of get involved with your comments. So thank you for that. And Zeus, you got some Facebook stuff too.
Yeah, Virgil Stay. Can't wait to listen. My Saturday has been all Christmas Masquerade all the time today. We'll get into Christmas Masquerade a little bit later. Max Lynch. Just remember, if people are copying your content ideas, you at least know you must be doing something right. They can't recreate the personal camaraderie you have together. The only podcast I listen to consistently.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
Scott Donaldson. Another killer episode, Tom and Zeus. My Sunday morning ritual is working on cars, listening to the latest from Shout It Out Loudcast. Even better, it was 3 hours long. Really enjoyed this one, guys. Love the special guests and the wishes. Not sure about Sonny's You Make Me Rock Hard Yellow. Have noticed lately that I'm hearing other podcasts taking some of your ideas, lists, etc. Nothing to worry about too much, guys. While it's poor on their behalf, they still can't match the chemistry you have, and there's no way they have your sense of humor. My wishes would be Kiss to honor Eric Carr more, remaster Hits in Monster, Paul to have surgery on his vocals. Guys, have a wonderful Christmas with your families, and here's to a cracker of a New York stay safe. He lost me in that. That must be an Australian thing.
That's okay. But anyway, Scott,
cracker of a new year.
Cracker must mean here's to a great new year. Must be a term that they use. But anyway, Scott, thank you as always. We always appreciate your interaction, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah. And Scott's probably still touring with his band, Hysteria.
Right. That's right.
Scott's the Fox, Eric Carr in the band.
Awesome.
So continued success for the band and a bright new 2021 for you and your mates there, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Vargo. Where do I start? What an episode. Every guest was great. I love the A Christmas Carol concept. I found everyone's wishes interesting and matched many of my own. From Baco's wish to have Hotter Than Hell remastered and remixed from the original Raw master tape to Tom's wish of having Kiss Visions released official on DVD through Kiss themselves. Z was in top form and should look into character acting. LOL.
Oh boy. Jesus Christ.
Murph's intro got me into the spirit. What a fun episode. Well done. Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas to you too, Steve. Thanks for all the
Steve. Thanks as always.
All the love this year. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, Steve.
Scott Wheeler. 3 hours. I need to postpone Christmas shopping. Almost time to just mic you guys up like in football, and we could drop in and listen live all day.
Oh, gee, you don't want that. That would be messy.
Jack Pinocchio got done listening to this mammoth, all capitalized episode on my drive home. My 3 wishes. I'll do past, present, future. Past. Go back and say to the original 4 and say, stop fucking hating on each other. Listen to each other, and you have no idea where this kiss thing will take you. Present. Be more interactive with fan, be it online. Demos take us behind the scenes. Anything. Future. Same as you both. A Kiss app. Full access to all and anything Kiss. Finally, Kevin Jepson. Very original, guys. Super fun episode. I hope drunk 80s Ace is okay. He didn't sound too good. Not going to give you my past or present picks, but I do have to say, Carrie was my favorite. She's so awesome. I would love to hang out with her and have some drinks and let her play with my hair and take advantage of me. Merry Christmas, fuckos.
Oh, Kevin, you're the best, man. That is terrific. Love it.
Kevin
Love
was
it.
DMing us during the whole Kiss Masquerade
Oh,
shit. We had a blast. We were both, we're not going to say it publicly, but we were both sharing some of our feedback with our text groups to each other. And we're like, "Here, your friends saying the same thing as our friends." And we were. That's why we love Kevin, because him and his buddies are just the same as me, Tom, and Sonny, and Steve, and Tony, and Murph, and all the rest of the gang on those. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, we may have to extend an invitation to Kevin to jump into our text group.
Yeah, he's right on point with the rest of them. And that is Facebook. And I'm gonna hop on over to YouTube. YouTube is really starting to get interactive. We really appreciate it. Please keep it up. The only problem with YouTube is every once in a while they'll give us flag us on content, and everybody knows YouTube is super aggravating and annoying about, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. And so sometimes their content, it's really more on the bonus episodes. They're like, oh, you can't print that because it's something, you can't post that. So it gets aggravating, but we're still persisting. So we appreciate you guys interacting on YouTube. Please subscribe. We'd like to build it up a little bit more. And the feedback is getting a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Voluminous?
Wait a minute. Didn't you always tell me dumb it down? People don't know what that word means. Just say big.
It's getting way big more. It's getting way big more. Anyways, Johnny Be Good. Oh my God. Zeus had me rolling on the floor every time he does his Ace impression. And Montreal Voots, which I think is Costa, right?
Oh, I think so. I think it is. Yes, because his last name is
Vucinis,
correct.
Right?
Yes.
And if it is Costa, he gets his theme song played. His theme. Here he goes. Well, anyways, Costa jumped in on Johnny's comment with a very astute observation. You know what it is, Tom?
I don't. Nice. Oh,
Kiss
man.
and tail. I've never seen this guy comment before. Love it. Keep it up. You guys are by far the funniest Kiss podcast in existence. Disclaimer. I emailed you guys about using the draft on our show and got your blessing, but we decided to go a different route. Well, that's nice, I think.
I remember that. I remember, and they were gracious enough to reach out to us, and not that they need our permission, but they were thoughtful enough to see that we had an original idea. And they say, "Hey guys, do you mind this?" And we're like, "Of course not. Good luck with your show. But if you went a different route, that's fine. Save it for a future episode." But thank you for listening, and thank you for commenting.
What I was going to say is Steve from Potter Than Hell has done that before.
Yep. Jay
at What Do You Call has done that before. And we've done that with other people. Hey, we might be doing this, and that. So I don't want to go off on another tangent about copying and all that other crap.
Right.
Because, I know you guys are jumping and asking and going on social media. Hey, who's copying you guys? Dude, we're not going to drop fucking names publicly of everything. And we, the people that hear it, they get it. They know we know, and they know it's annoying, but they want to do it. They're going to do it. It's okay. It's not like we copywritten everything that we ever decided to do. Oh, we did podcasting, and so that means you can't be doing podcasting either. We would get in trouble too because we're doing a Kiss podcast. You know what, Tom? I hate to say it, but I think there are other people doing Kiss podcasts before us.
Yeah, you can't rank the top 10 Gene Simmons songs. We started that. Nobody else can do that.
Nobody can review a Kiss album. Only we can do it.
That's it. Correct.
Yeah, that's not the nonsense we're talking about.
Exactly.
It's a little bit more specific than that.
Exactly.
And it is what it is because whatever. If you want to ask and stuff, you can always DM us, but we're not going to publicly shame people. It is what it is.
Not yet.
All right. Another fellow Grecian here. It's got to be Greek. Anthony Stratis. Ooh. Love it how Zeus lays the smackdown on the other Kiss-related podcasts, Paul Heyman style.
Oh,
Keep up the good work, guys. God bless Carrie Stevens for flying the Eric Carr flag as well. We
Yes.
love Carrie for that, and she's very passionate. And she gets we don't know what we're going to get when we get Carrie on the show, whether we talk to her live or we talk to her privately. And that's what we kind of love about her. So, sometimes it can get a little out there and the stuff that, is not something we're going to condone or anything like that. But she gets the freedom to say what she wants on the show anytime.
Oh, yeah. She's the ultimate wild card, and she always has a free reign open mic night anytime she's on this show for sure.
Yeah. And Anthony, I think that's the second time you've called me Paul Heyman.
That's
and
right.
I hope it's
Yep.
vocally, not physically Paul Heyman, who they describe and mock as the Walrus.
Nice.
Oh, Johnny Be Good again. Hotter Than Hell's master tape was never remastered because they found in the late 90s unrepairable due to humidity water damage. It's talked about on a different podcast. That's why they never remastered it.
Wow.
Thanks for letting us know.
Okay.
Marty White.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God bless Marty. We love him. Carrie's idea about donating $300,000 a year to St. Jude in Eric's memory was fantastic. Too bad Kiss never made money over the years. So it's understandable they couldn't do it. The reunion tour was such a bomb that I heard that Paul and Gene had to reduce the square footage of their homes to reduce their tax liability. When you dedicate your lives to music like Paul and Gene, you best commit yourself to a life of pauperism. Incidentally, do you think Paul has ever referred to Shannon Tweed as just a playmate? We should have like comment of the week.
That is it. That's the fucking winner right there.
Exactly.
Yep.
I've never thought about that.
Perfect.
Could you imagine if he ever dismissively said, "Hey, Gene's married to some playmate"? More so than Gene, I think Shannon would let him have it.
Yep. Agreed. No,
That is a great comment.
Yeah, that's why we have awesome listeners. That is. It's excellent. It's an excellent point.
Maybe that's something we'll do into next year, Tom. Comment of the week.
Perhaps. That's a great one. I'll tell you that.
That's a great one, Marty. Thank you so much. Been a great fan of the show, and we love interacting with you, buddy. Thank you. So that's it for YouTube, Tom.
All right, and let's go to some emails here from our good friend Tony Smith. Just finished this episode, and it took longer than the actual runtime to get through it because I had to stop a number of times to laugh my ass off. A couple of favorite moments. 80s drunk Ace talking, then all of a sudden barfing. Had me in stitches. Another favorite moment. Sonny Pooney's Kiss Car Factory. I came up with a slogan for a Vinnie Vincent car. In this car, no matter where you're going, you never show up.
That's awesome. Oh, Marty, you might have a competition, man.
I know. Then he continues, my favorite episode by far. Loved all the guests that made it happen. Love you guys, Tom and Zeus. May you guys and your families have the merriest of Christmases and the happiest of New Year's. My Kissmas wish is that Shout It Out Loudcast goes on forever.
Oh.
Well, Tony, we can't thank you enough. You have been a loyal and fun and hilarious listener and fan of the show, and we thank you so much for that because you add a lot to the show with your commentary. So thank you so much for that, buddy.
Merry Christmas, Tony.
Absolutely.
All right. So that's great feedback. That was a lot of fun. Yep. With the amount of guests we're going to have, I don't know if we can continue the same format for Christmas next year, Tom.
Yeah, I know.
It's going to be a 5-hour show.
Maybe we'll just do like...
we had a couple that couldn't make it, too. We were going to have a couple more. Thank God.
Maybe we'll do how the Grinch stole Kissmas and come up with something like that. But you're right. Yeah, we actually had a couple guests that couldn't make it. Yeah. So you're right. It would have been 4 hours.
Yeah. So yeah, we gotta cut that shit loose. So
yep.
Anyways, Tom, what we usually do after this part, we go over to Kiss World and find out what's going on there. What's going on in Kiss World, man?
So let's briefly talk about the Kissmas Masquerade. That was the big thing from last week. We did have Phil and Neil on a couple episodes ago to talk about that. So the streaming event, I thought the streaming looked good. I thought the HD quality was fantastic. The sound and video quality were great. I unfortunately didn't catch to see get to see the entire thing. I saw some of the Friday night show with the acoustics set with the Talisman, which was outstanding. Saw some of the Zeppelin show, but the big thing that everybody was interested in seeing over the weekend was the acoustic set with Bruce and Todd Kearns, which was spectacular as advertised. I mean, for $12, you're a fool if you didn't get that. Todd's voice is just wow. And Bruce, their acoustic renditions of some of these songs, like Detroit Rock City acoustic. Oh, it was terrific. So I hope you guys got to enjoy that because it was a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah, I got to see it, Tom, Friday. We were, most of us were texting on the text exchange there. The Talisman guys were fantastic, man. So good. And then I watched a little bit with you on Saturday as well. Unfortunately, I was editing a lot of stuff that time too and doing some stuff. But I did get to listen. I gotta mention it. My favorite part of the show was the texts we were getting from one individual specifically going, and I'm not in the room, but I could see the text because I stepped aside. I was like, who the fuck is that drummer? Who's that drummer? Yeah. What's going on? Who's the drummer? I'm like, what the fuck does he keep talking about the drummer for? And I know I'm getting screenshots of fucking Al Franken and the drummer because apparently it was Al Franken on the drums. The guy looked like him, apparently. I don't know. But it was just funny because somebody was fixated on it and kept fucking texting me. And I'm like, what the hell are they talking about?
Yep.
And for some of you guys, if you're really interested, I can let you know who it is, but I'm not going to say it publicly now.
Funny shit. Yep. That was awesome.
Because I kept saying, Tom, all right, I was just watching. What's the big deal about the drummer? Is he doing something? I didn't get what the fascination was.
Me neither. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't get it. But who's a drummer? Who's a drummer?
The best thing is, like, he has the same childish, stupid humor as we do.
Yep.
Sending photos. And then it was like, no, it's Al Johansson. It's Buster Poindexter on the
Davey Johansson, Buster Poindexter is the drummer. Like, what are you talking about?
Anyway, I thought the show was great. I liked, you know what else I liked? I liked Jean Beauvoir.
Yes.
I didn't like that little original track he played. I thought his performance was pretty good.
Yep.
I've got to say it. I think Rick Derringer didn't even know he was there.
Yeah, God bless him. I think he was that was odd. I mean, I understand that they wanted him on there for the Exciter solo, but then he started breaking out into Hang On Sloopy, and I was like, I don't understand. It was just very confusing. It was confusing to me as a viewer.
Oh, you know what I thought wasn't that bad? Was your buddies there from Enough's Enough?
Yeah, I don't mind them. I thought they sounded okay. I mean, I liked the song New Thing, and I thought it sounded good.
There was a couple songs there I heard that I'm like, this shit's catchy. I just don't know them.
Yeah,
I don't know the material, but I'm like, damn, that stuff's pretty catchy. But
yep.
Yeah, and then again, the Talisman doing Rock and Roll Over. That was so much fun. And my favorite thing is Phil did the Gene head.
Yes.
Love him. Leave him. And he was doing the head back and forth like the video. Oh, that was awesome. I thought they did a great job. Especially Mr. Speed was fantastic. Everyone's dying for that.
Yeah.
And obviously the big show, Bruce and Todd, was fantastic.
So
they even
good.
had the lovely Lisa join him for one little song as well. Yep. I thought those guys had great chemistry. Just class acts, class musicians in a league of their own. And shit, I would go see them play anytime if those two guys came out and did an acoustic set. Anywhere.
Yeah, it was great. They played, they opened up with Coming Home, just like the MTV Unplugged. But like I said, doing a couple versions of songs like Tears Are Falling Unplugged. Like, it was really, really, really good. I hope you guys got a chance to see it.
And Todd does a great job. His vocals are outstanding.
Absolutely. It was great.
Like I said, Bruce is Bruce. Everybody knows. So reliable. Such a great player. God bless him.
Yep.
But that was Kiss Masquerade. Several parts of that was worth the $12. So I thought it was a good investment. I hope those guys found some success with that, and I hope they will continue it.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple other little things. It's not really news, but just Kiss coming up in the headlines. Kiss is going to be involved in putting out their own coffee coming out next year because you need that. You need Kiss coffee. This is French Italian Dubai brew. Whatever. It's gonna be. It'll be like Mystic. It'll be Hannaford brand with a Kiss logo on it.
Tom, do you know who drinks coffee? You, the consumer, drink coffee. Kiss will give you, the consumer, the best coffee you've ever had. Holy fuck balls! I need some fucking coffee.
You remember me from last week. This is Gene Simmons, business mogul from Kiss. So
a study says humans drink coffee. Yeah.
Anyways.
I think them and fucking cranky Peter Chris. Oh, so
cranky reunion, Peter Chris.
Yes. So let's talk about the big part of the week.
Okay.
And that is my favorite Kiss member turned 75.
Yes.
And they put a 1 hour video out. And that 1 hour video was fantastic, filled with people in the Kiss world. But the big part was the 3 members of Kiss wished Peter a happy birthday. Gene, this is Peter, whatever. But Paul, to the point, you could tell he was watching what he said. He was keeping it professional and polite. And that's all we need. Ace was talking about Ace more than he was Peter. Because my birthday's coming up too. Hey, you're 75. I hope I make it to fucking 70. Wait, how old am I? Yeah. It's just, what the fuck, dude? But I'm telling you, Tom, there is a reason why Peter has not been in the news. Peter stuff. They are kind to him. They're not giving him shit. He will be part of this at the end. He will definitely be part of this. They wouldn't be doing these feelers. They wouldn't be doing. And then, Tom, they also had shit publicly. Paul wished him a happy birthday on Twitter and stuff. When I saw that before the video, I was like, holy shit. Paul just gave a happy birthday wishes to Peter. Prior to that, he was commenting on the anniversary of Eric Carr's death. Is Paul a fan of Shout It Out Loudcast? And he's listening to us about complaining about the fact that he's not showing any affection towards the Kiss family, and all of a sudden here it is.
I agree.
Somebody got to him along the way and told him, this doesn't look good. People are talking about you not doing anything about this stuff, and he's done it. So I don't want to be accused of just piling on. I'm not. I am commending him. I am giving him credit. God bless him. And the star child may be back, Tom.
We say that all the time.
Paul may be gone. 2020 might go with it.
He's never going anywhere. He's here to stay.
Pandemic might gone, Tom.
We've said this from the beginning. We call it the way we see it. If Paul does something that is worth commending, of course we'll say it. And it was wonderful to see him in that video, and it was great to see his Twitter birthday wishes. That was awesome, and it's the right thing to do. And it kind of pisses me off that we're commending somebody for doing the right thing that should be so obvious. But sometimes Paul misses the obvious things. So when he does them, we're like, yay, Paul, you did the right thing. But that being said, it was nice to see.
I don't know, Tom. I still feel like we should give him some credit for it.
I am giving him credit.
It's just, we're so used to the old Paul and the pandemic Paul and talking about Beethoven's twin cousin's great grandson has passed away. I was a lover of his music and this and that. Like, dude,
when I was a child and I had my first Victrola at the age of 6, I would sit and wonder how Beethoven put those compositions together. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No one cares. But that being said, you're right. I am giving him credit because it was the right thing to do, and I'm happy to see it. I'm always happy to see Paul talk about Kiss. He posted something else about a concert in the 70s, a Kiss memory. That was terrific. We want more of that, so that was good to see.
So you made the comment, I will tip my hat to you, that Paul probably missed the stage, and that's where Pandemic Paul had come out because he needs the attention, because without the stage, he's looking for interaction or some sort of
adoration,
recognition to him in some fashion. And he was looking at it for political posts or Citizen of the Week awards, that he was going to get rather than just be the star child.
And I also think he's getting fired up too with the New Year's Eve show. I think that might be kind of rejuvenating him, reinvigorating him with the Kiss enthusiasm. I hope so. Yeah. We'll see. But speaking of that, more New Year's Eve preview. People are posting Kiss, I should say, are posting pictures of the stage. The thing looks massive. Who knows if it's going to be any different? We've seen festivals before. We've seen Kiss at outdoor festivals. It looks similar to that. Who knows if it's bigger than normal? So that's getting ready to go. We will be watching that together. That's all we're going to say about that. Zeus and I will be watching that together. So that's it. Some other points of news. Our buddy Jericho did a teaser today. We're recording on Wednesday the 23rd. Jericho teased that they recorded another quarantine song. He didn't say exactly with who or what song, but he did tease that out. So that's awesome because the first two were friggin' amazing that he did.
Yep. Can't wait to hear that.
Yep. And then just real briefly today, again, Wednesday the 23rd, along the Twitter sphere, there was another story that came out with Paul. We've talked about this in the past. Paul commenting on how he'd be honored to see Kiss continue without him and Gene. And of course, anytime you talk about something like that, it's going to fire up the masses. And of course it did. It's a ridiculous thing. We're not going to spend time on that because that could be a whole separate episode, but just Paul in the news again. I don't know what he's trying to get at by saying that Kiss can continue without him and Gene, but whatever.
That needs its own actual episode. I think.
I agree.
All I want to just, we talked about maybe mentioning this, but all I want to add to that is I know you're 100% against it. I just want to say there's a difference in saying, let's say Paul leaves. Todd Kearns comes in.
I'd take that. Absolutely.
I would see that.
Yeah, because Gene's still there.
Gene's still there. And the other two members are still there. And they've been in Kiss for quite some time.
Yep.
Then Gene leaves. Phil Shells comes in and plays him. I'd still see it live, but I don't really want to see an album from them.
Yes.
Unless Paul and Gene is there, I don't want an album from Kiss, non-Paul and Gene. I will see them live because, at this time, Eric is still there. Tom is still there. There's still some sort of 6 degrees there of separation. But once they all go, then no. I don't want no music because that's not Kiss.
I was just going to say, I could tolerate seeing, Todd and Phil because there is some connective tissue with the band. Phil has played with Ace and Gene, and Todd has played with Bruce, who's in Kiss. And so there's still something going on there, but I still wouldn't, I don't think I'd be like fired up to see. And you're right. I sure as hell wouldn't want a new album. And let me be clear. That is no disrespect to Phil and Todd and the guys. They're terrific.
Not as Kiss. I don't want them to.
Exactly.
Right. I'm not fucking paying Kiss ticket prices to see them in concert either.
Right. Exactly.
So we'll save that for another episode down the line. So.
Yep.
Anyways, anything else?
Nope. Let's go.
You know what, Tom? This is our last episode of the year. So, you know what I want to say? Somebody can go fuck themselves. And you know who can go fuck themselves? 2020 can go fuck itself. See you, 2020. Go fuck yourself. And if you're going to go fuck yourself, 2020, go fuck yourself with something from Adam and Eve.
Exactly. That is the place to go. We've been talking about them every week, adameve.com. You use that promo code Loudcast, put some items in your cart, enter the promo code Loudcast. You're going to get free shipping, those free spicy movies, free gifts for you, your partner, for everything, for everybody there. It's a great deal. And look, New Year's Eve is going to be a little different this year. Okay. You might be spending it alone with your partner, whatever. There's not going to be a lot going on. Not going to be some huge house party or people going to New York City to see the ball drop. So the only ball that may be dropping will be yours.
Yep.
So if you're going to be dropping them, pick up something fun from adamandeve.com to bring in the new year. There you go.
So if you're going to be dropping some hot ass.
Exactly. Pick up something from adamandeve.com.
Yeah. What will go better than some Shout It Out Loudcast anal beads to celebrate the new year?
Oh, boy. Jesus Christ. Can we get Ed from Click T to friggin' hook up those? He's still working on the piss cups.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Yes. All right. Tom, year in review.
It is the year in review.
So, Tom, when we do these year in reviews, because we've done so many, actually one, what I think we usually do is basically we talk about Kiss real briefly, their year in review, but it's mostly about our year in review. And we go through all the episodes we did this year, touch on them a little bit, anything fun or interesting on some of them, we'll mention. But if we're going to go through the year in review with Kiss, I think this is going to be a real short one.
Yeah.
Because what I know and what I remember for Kiss, really the big point is they started off, opened up. We saw them opening up in New Hampshire, and they opened up with David Lee Roth, who we thought was excellent in his performance. Yep. We were anticipating, all new songs, all this new stuff, and we got two songs that we heard kind of in the past, not too long ago.
Yep. So no, you're right. We were lucky enough to see them, thank God, because the Kiss tour, it was like grand opening, grand closing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we saw them on February 1st, Manchester, New Hampshire, and about a month after that, it was lights out for the whole concert.
Boom,
touring.
Shut down.
Yeah.
They shut down the Kiss cruise, which hopefully Tom is going to come now. Maybe. We'll see how that goes. That got postponed, and 2020 got postponed. Everything basically did. We don't know when if they're going to reopen. We didn't know when they're going to reset up the dates. They had a year. They had the date set up for the last concert ever, and they were kind of teasing that at the last Kiss cruise, remember? But that's all going to probably change now.
Well, yeah, because our concert, we were supposed to go see them this past Labor Day. That show got postponed to August of 2021. So everything, obviously, like every other tour, got bounced. So,
yeah. So the only thing you could say really of news for this year, for really major for Kiss, was the tour got postponed. They sat on the sidelines like every other band and artist, and nothing really new other than they created a new person for the band Kiss, and his name was Pandemic Paul. That person got created. So, 2020. But I mean, they did have some commemorative stuff come out for the fans, stuff that doesn't interest me because they're all vinyl releases, special things like that. You remember these, Tom, because you got into some of them.
Yeah, the big thing was the 45th anniversary this year of Kiss Alive. The 40th anniversary of Unmasked. So they've been doing a nice job if you're into that about commemorating the key anniversaries. It's going to be interesting. I know I'm waiting for this one because 2021 will be the 40th anniversary of The Elder. So those guys, Paul and Gene, like to really shit on that. So I'm going to be anxious to see how they acknowledge that, and if they do some kind of, colored vinyl or special, 40th anniversary as they have with every other album. But yeah, so they always do a good job of honoring their history, especially on social media and with things like the T-shirts, the vinyl, etc. So we did get some of that this year.
Yeah, but other than that, we're waiting. And the last major, artistically big thing Kiss has done is going to be on New Year's Eve day of this year. And that hasn't happened yet. So you'll hear about it, I'm sure, through social media and this podcast when it does occur. So that's really it for Kiss. Well, let's move on to us, the more important of the two. So I would say the first big thing, we're going to review the year in review for our show. We're not going to talk about these, but we are going to mention how it started. And that is, we created the bonus episodes this year, and we also did the live cast episodes. So the bonus episodes were just me and Tom needed to get our creative juices going about stuff outside of Kiss, because God knows we're not one of these, Kiss and only Kiss. Kiss is our favorite. Kiss is number one, but we still have an interest in other types of music. And we just wanted to talk about those other bands, but we wanted to just do it, every once in a while, not take a Kiss episode away and do a different episode. Keep the Kiss episodes and throw one additional episode in. So therefore, if you don't want to talk about those things, don't worry. We didn't change the formula. And we did the bonus episodes, and we invited our good friend Sonny Pooney to join us. And he's been excellent as the third co-host, basically, of the bonus episodes.
Yeah, and the live cast, obviously, I'll get to the live cast in a minute, but the bonus episodes were terrific. And you've listened to us long enough. We have so much more non-Kiss music that we're fans of. And, Zeus said it, we wanted to have an outlet to talk about that. And we love the format, individual rotating picks, then a group pick, and then back to the individual rotating picks. And we're having a blast with that. And who knows what 2021 may bring when it comes to stuff like that. Who knows? And in terms of the live streams, those came about, I think, if one thing that was positive, if you can kind of look at it that way, from the pandemic and from people being kind of locked down and having a lot of entertainment outlets taken away from them, was that people became creative. We talked about our buddy Jericho with quarantine and people doing different things and live streaming. So Bruce. That's right. Bruce's stuff's been great. Paul started great, but we talked about that before. But getting our friends together and pretty much doing what we do, like on our text chat, but kind of translating it to a live stream for you, for you guys, whether it's a song draft, a band draft, a discussion about hair metal. When the tragic passing of Bob Kulick, rest in peace, we did like a live kind of emergency live stream, and we kind of had a group kind of mourning session with that. Different things like that, and we're going to continue that. We found a niche with that. We enjoy it. You guys seem to enjoy it. So, a couple new things for us this year, and who knows what 2021 is going to bring.
Yeah, exactly. But we did start off with a bang. 2020 started off great. We had an album review of the immortal debut album by Kiss. Wow,
we did, and you never know if something's going to start off 2021 similar to that. It might not. You never know. But what a way to kick off 2020.
Can you imagine doing an album review? And you have to. We were putting Firehouse, Deuce, Black Diamond. We had to rank those.
Yep, I agree. Brutal.
Right?
Brutal. Yeah,
that is insane.
Yep.
So that was a total fun episode to do. So we start off the year by doing an album review with the debut album by Kiss. Fucking incredible. Then we moved on. We did a DVD review, episode 53, the second episode of the year, season 2.
Yep.
And we did the Eric Carr story. Never saw it. Watched it. Was moved tremendously. Good friend Carrie Stevens throughout the show was throughout the DVD shown. Like it is such. It's bittersweet. You get to see a part of Eric and a part of his story that you may not have known, or you get to see the man behind the Fox makeup, or outside of the little guy with the big drums, and you get to see that side of him. And then you're like, oh, I'm glad they got to see it, but great. Now I fucking miss him even more. That's how I felt about him. Like, great. Now I'm pissed off him even more. But I became a bigger fan of his after seeing that DVD.
Yeah, we'd never knew anything about the DVD. We each got it. We watched it. And it's great because it's one of those DVDs, Paul and Gene aren't in it. And it's even more bittersweet now because one of the main people that is interviewed throughout it is Bob Kulick. Rest in peace. They do a lot of interviews and commentary from him on it. And of course, Carrie Stevens, the wonderful Carrie Stevens, is featured in that a lot. So if you guys haven't checked out that, I urge you to check it out. It might still be on Amazon Prime Video, but I know the DVD is still available too. So I urge you to check that one out. It's a good one.
Yeah, we rank the DVDs and we continue to do so. We'll continue to rank all the DV episodes that we've reviewed. And I mean, so far for the year, we've done Second Coming and Kiss Confidential and Eric Carr up till today. So wait for more DVD reviews to actually, come down the pipe. So after we did the Eric Carr story, we moved on over and we did an episode we called Exciter. What do we call it? Exciter. I love putting these on the tee, Tom, and Tom's coming in smacking on because he knows that I like this stupid, goofy shit. I don't know why. But yeah, we did Exciter. In this episode, we did something we did before with our good friend, Mr. Stephen Michael from Grown Up Rock. We reviewed the last song, the best last song on a Kiss album. This time we did the top 10 opening tracks on a Kiss album. And Steven came along and helped us out on that. I should have fucking done a thing where I would have been like, okay, here's what's going to happen. If Tom had one piece of hair left on his head, he was going to rip it out between Unholy and I Stole Your Love. I would have been like, I guarantee you, I don't know which one he was going to pick, but I guarantee you he's going to be, it's one of those two. Yeah. And you went with I Stole Your Love. I went with DRC. You knew I was going to pick that. I think you would have got it. And the tiebreaker, Steven took I Stole Your Love.
Yeah, that was a great one. That was a tough one. I'm looking at the list right here. I mean, even honorable mention, I had Hate, Exciter. I Was Made for Loving You. I didn't even make the top 10. That's just a brutally difficult thing to do. But we had a blast, and we thank our buddy Steven for joining us on that one.
Yeah, if you look at it, Tom, I had I Stole Your Love as 2.
Yep.
So that was by far the number one pick.
Yep.
But that was a lot of fun doing that. So moving on from episode 54, we went to episode 55. We brought in author Greg Prato onto the show to discuss his Kiss book, right?
Yep.
Take It Off. Kiss Truly Unmasked, about the non-makeup era.
Guys, if you are not familiar with this book, I cannot stress it enough. And we're not just saying this because Greg was a gracious guest on our show. The book is spectacular. And one of the things that Greg was stressed and was happy about was that of all the exhaustive interviews in that book, nothing from Paul or Gene. And his point was, we've heard Paul and Gene's story. Let's try to hear some other people. And he breaks it down by the tour, by, track by track from some things. He's got all different kinds of Kiss experts, musicians, fans of the band. And he breaks it down album by album by album. It's awesome, awesome book. And Greg was great.
Yeah, he does it oral history style.
Yeah.
And I love that. And I still go to that book. Anytime we're discussing anything non-makeup, I love to look through it. Yep. Great book. Make sure you take a look. Greg Prato's book, Take It Off. Mm-hmm. So that was 55. 56. Oh, Tom.
Yep.
56. Kiss Alive 3. Our first live album review. Won't be the last. Oh, man.
Yeah, this was good. I mean, I love this album. I mean, this is because it's my favorite lineup. Obviously other than the original lineup, but I love this album. I love the sound of it. So we broke down the album, and shouted out Loudcast style like we always do. We gave our top 5 songs that we love off that. I had Watching You, surprisingly, just because I love the Eric Singer's drums on that. But yeah, anytime you're doing an album review, we always have a great time. And this one was awesome because it was our first live one.
Yeah, I did Lick It Up. We both had Unholy's number 2.
Yep.
And I had number 3, Take It Off, which still to this day is the best stripper song I know.
You want to explain?
Love it.
You want to explain to people how you were able to have Take It Off in your top 5?
Oh, the fact that I have it on the different edition, which has that.
Right.
I think it's the Japanese edition, right?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, that has Take It Off on there. Oh,
yep.
I love that song.
Yep. Good stuff.
57, Tom, a lifetime ago, we reviewed a Kiss concert, End of the Road, Manchester, New Hampshire. Me, you, and somebody else. Who?
Our buddy Murph. And my son joined us as well. And it's funny because I'm looking at the show notes for this, and in capital letters we wrote, "Warning: strong opinions are given." because we had a lot to say about that show.
Yeah, and we also met Mitch LaFawn, but Mitch, we've talked to him yet, but what we didn't know that there'd be a new person interacting with us that continues to interact with us. Who did we meet?
That's right. We met Jeremy White, and we didn't even realize that at the time that we would end up at this time of the year that we would be social media friends with him. So that's awesome. It's amazing how the year rolls on and you become friendly with people through Kiss, through social media. So that was awesome. That was awesome. It probably was better than the show, but that's okay.
So episode 58, we called this one Love's a Deadly Weapon. And we did best Valentine's Day songs 5 and 5 worst Kiss Valentine's Day songs. So,
oh my God.
Number 1, you took Every Time I Look at You, which was almost your wedding song. I know we've told this story before, right?
Yep.
There's a couple lyrics in there that you were like, I don't think
a little questionable.
Yeah. I had taken You're All That I Want, the demo version, a little bit more romantic. I'm looking at this, Tom. I don't think either one of us had the same fucking song. Your top 5 and my top 5, neither of us had the same song. There's no duplicates.
I know, and I'm trying to see like this. I don't even think this
even
was
the honorable mention wasn't the same.
Yeah, this wasn't even a draft.
No. We just picked them.
We just did it. Yeah, right.
Now,
right.
The best thing is we also did what would be the 5 worst ideas. They'd be like, honey, it's Valentine's Day. Let's play this song.
We had the same number one.
And what was that?
Dance all over your face.
Happy Valentine's Day, sweetie. Oh, thank you. Now let me go dance all over your face. I'm sorry. What does that mean?
You'll find out in a minute. Promo code Loudcast.
I'm going to Peter North pancake style your face, and you won't be able to see right for weeks.
You see that package of Pillsbury cinnamon rolls? You're not going to need the icing.
I'm going to take a fireman's hose and squirt you with fucking my love juice.
That's another thing. Speaking of Shout Out Loudcast 2020, we've developed an unhealthy reference to porn in Peter North.
Peter North and Chameleon and Tori Wells.
God.
All right. So just to keep it funny, Tom, you had keep me coming when your walls come down. Spit and down on your knees. My romantic no-nos were I'm gonna after dance all his bang bang you. No. Heart of Chrome and 2-timer. Oh my God. I think by titles, I think you might win that one.
Yeah, that's pretty much title wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We both had Read My Body as honorable mention.
It's terrible.
Oh, that was a fun episode.
Yep.
So we move over to episode 59. The second time we've done this, Tom. Box set disc number 2.
Yeah, I love these reviews. I love the box set. I can't wait to continue that into 2021. Yeah, and then we ranked.
Yeah.
Then we ranked like the unreleased demo songs, which was a lot of fun.
And you know what's great about that? We had the same order. Don't You Hesitate, Mad Dog, Bad Lovin', and Love Is Blind. And then the best demo, we both had Mr. Speed, God of Thunder, and then we reversed the Love Gun and I Want You. Other than that, we had the same thing.
That's a great disc.
Yeah, that's a great episode. We love those box set reviews. Episode 60, Tom, Kiss Draft 5, the non-Paul and Gene draft. Woo!
Yeah, we call this Strange Ways. The Strange Ways draft. This was awesome. And again, I keep, once 2020 starts to roll on, when the holidays are behind us and we're getting into our creative mode, I can't wait to see what drafts we're going to come up with. But this was a great one for us. Yeah,
Tom, you took Rip It Out. I took Rocket Ride with our two, both Ace Frehley songs. Okay.
Yep.
I think most of your Ace Frehleys, I took Mainline as number 2. In a lot of these, we always talk about these drafts are strategy. It doesn't mean I think Mainline's the best non-Paul or Gene song. It just means, I think you might take it. So I want to draft that earlier. And that's a lot of fun. And there's a lot of, songs that we could have taken there. I mean, you don't realize it, but if you add up even just one Eric Carr song, one Bruce Kulick song, 4 Tommy and songs too.
There was a lot to choose from, surprisingly.
Eric Singer songs, right? Yeah, and then you add up the Ace and Peters. There's a lot there. That was a fun draft to do. I'll be honest with you.
Definitely.
61, Tom, was the trivia, and nobody can get the fucking counting done right. We always get on each other's nerves. Murph does shit that pisses me off constantly. Somehow I got a feeling trivia part 3 will come up next year.
Oh, it's gonna come, and we still won't know how to count, and Murph will still annoy you. So it's gonna be great.
Yeah, you won that one, I believe, 20-19, Tom.
Yeah, I think that's still under protest. I don't think anybody knows who actually won.
I think it was one of those like we were supposed to do by 2, and then we're like, "Fuck it, you're ahead. Fuck it, let's just be done with it." I'm annoyed.
Yep.
So, episode 62, Kiss non-makeup tournament preview. Woo, that's going to be right around the corner, Tom, again.
Can I just tell you, I got like a little mini panic attack thinking of that, because that's going to sneak up on us. The prep work for this one, because 2019 was the makeup madness, 2020 was non-makeup madness. So what kind of spin are we going to do for 2021? Because something's coming, and we don't know yet exactly how we're going to make it happen.
And I'm going to tell all you people right now, go fuck yourselves if you think, hey, Zeus, what was my score this week?
Oh, jeez.
I don't fucking know. Add up your own fucking points. I'm not giving everybody their points. What I did was take some of our podcast friends and had us competition just amongst us. I was able to pull that off myself. And I think who won it this year? Was it Gary? I think Gary Cap won, didn't he?
I think it might have been Gary. Gary, you'll correct us if we're wrong, but I think it might have been.
Yeah, and Gary got the T-shirt, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
congratulations.
And we're going to also, I'm not going to make any promises here, but we're going to try to work on maybe getting like a web-based bracket or something, so Zeus doesn't have 6,000 printouts of brackets that he has to go through, because we expect this year to keep growing with the entries. So we're going to try to make this into the 21st century. So
yeah, and we got to tip our hat and say a big thank you to Jericho, who helped get some people like basically Bruce, his wife, and others involved in it. We had a ton of people involved. These makeup tournaments, non-makeup tournaments, March Madness, Kiss tournaments, so much fun. So be on the lookout for that to come up. So that was 62. 63, we had Mitch LaFon from Rock Talk with Mitch LaFon.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that was great. And we talked about that, how we met him at the Manchester show, and then we had been messaging him to come on, and that's great. And we're still friendly with him. Social media, still interacting a lot. Kudos to Mitch. His show is growing. I know it's been tough for him and for any kind of rock journalist throughout the year, because obviously no concerts, not a lot of new material, but he's been plugging along, and he's been doing a great job for his show. So good kudos to Mitch.
Yep, and we continue to send him best wishes and continued success.
Yep.
Episode 64, Tom. We did album review. Oh, which one did we do?
Oh, Hot in the Shade. Oh,
First 2 songs ranking, we had the same. Everyone's shock. You Love Me to Hate You. We both had as number 1 and Forever number 2. We both had Boomerang as the last, but this was all over the place in the middle. So much fun going over. I know we always get there's one too many songs. By the time of me and you reviewed this, we're like, you know what? I like that song. Even I was like, I don't mind Betrayed anymore.
I think the biggest revelation was that me and you were like, Boomerang's not that bad, is it? It's kind of the Bruce sounds good in it. I was like, no, wait, are we really saying that?
Yeah, and this is the thing that we talked about. Every time we do a review and this and that, it changes. The greatest thing about this show is the fucking episode we did, Smashes, Thrashes, and Shit. There's no way those songs are the same. And even if they are, some of them are the same, there's no more hatred for a lot of those songs. Yep. They're like, it may not be what, because it's Kiss. So their worst song would be my favorite song if it was done by Saxon. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Sorry, Monsters of Rock crew.
Go to this.
You haven't heard fucking TNT's version of that. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Oh, God. Can't believe you guys didn't see Dangerous Toys live. What the hell's the matter with you people?
You missed out on Soraya's fucking third bass player perform a solo on his 4th solo album. Oh,
you didn't see Warlock when they were live on fucking whatever the what's the other than the Monsters of Rock cruise? What's that thing we said, the Vinny Catamaran cruise?
Monster Rock cruise. The shitbags on a corner street cruise.
Vinny's on the tugboat cruise. Oh God.
Oh, poor Vinny. Poor Vinny. Then we tried to get creative. We tried to get creative. We did a game where the game show host, Mr. Sonny Pooney, teamed me, Tom, and Murph versus the Potter Than Hell crew of Steve Dillon and BB. To say we lost would be an understatement. We got our asses kicked 21-11. Those guys kicked the shit out of us, Tom.
Yeah, and in the show notes, it was great. Do not attempt to drink every time someone says next, or when Sonny's question makes you say what? Oh,
do you remember how annoyed you were by the
next?
This guy has the same birthday as the guy that played Darren's boss on Bewitched. The fuck would I know what that guy's birthday is?
This bass player's daughter's first name has 13 letters in it. If you subtract the middle name from what? Just come on. What's the question?
Dude, he went through 10 clues and neither team got Paul Stanley.
Can you imagine
the clues from Paul Stanley? What the fuck, son?
On a Kiss podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly,
but the other podcast is named Potter Than Hell.
I'm going to be honest.
5 Kiss cruises, too.
First of all, I cannot believe that was fucking 8 months ago. I'm looking at that right here. Holy shit, dude. I remember after that episode, I was so annoyed. I'm like, what the fuck?
Do you know why I remember that specifically? Because I was at my brother's house in New Hampshire quarantine.
Oh,
Think
no
about
shit.
That.
Yeah.
Quarantine had just begun.
Okay.
That was our first quarantine episode I taped over there. Yep. Because we did the wrap-up episode 66 next with Jericho, and my mic fucked up a little bit.
Some technical difficulties.
66 was our wrap-up of the non-makeup tour, where we got to talk to Jericho about all the songs on there.
Yep.
And unfortunately, my mic wasn't working as good, and a little bit of the recording got a little messed up. But, Chris is a trooper, a professional, and he's a ton of fun. Anytime we have Jericho on, he's a ton of fun. And, the great thing about it is it's helped. He's friends with everybody. We don't have a monopoly on Jericho. He's closer to a lot of other people in podcast world there. But he and us now, we've formed a little bit of a text group that has become quite comical. And I wish that we could share it with others, but it's a lot of fun. And he sometimes it becomes saucy Chris with us,
Oh,
where
God.
he'll like to tape a video of himself threatening us in some bodily harm that will be done onto us because we didn't like his thoughts on something from Asylum.
Well, you're stupid. That's stupid. That's like because you're stupid.
I find your knowledge of Kiss disturbing.
Yeah, well, that's my list. You don't put it on your list if you don't want to. It's my list.
What the fuck, dude?
We love Chris. You can, and that was actually great having him on because we kind of broke down the results and he was kind of giving his analysis about why he thinks things fell. So it was good. It was good.
Yeah, love having Chris on. He's great.
And then who was on after him?
His arch nemesis there. So it was just as good when Jericho was on Z-Rock and he said, "How about if I smash that plantain on your face called a nose," or whatever he said to him.
Poor Joey.
Oh. So
But
we had the great Joey on.
And who would have ever thought that would begin the beautiful friendship of a New Yorker with a couple Bostonians? We love you, Joey. That was a great episode. We talked about your book, and since then, we've just been friends. So that was another great thing that we got from 2020.
Yeah, Joey's just a great guy, fun to talk with, someone who's got personality. So that's why he was on every podcast out there in this world, because he's fun. And he knows his shit.
Yep.
He's a talented fucking guy and a hardworking motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
But he is from New York.
Yeah, that's his only downfall.
So what we did next was excellent, Tom. So we are on episode 68 now, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Kiss Draft 6. Kiss Album Quarantine. Wow. This was so much fun. Yep. So we could draft only 2 albums before 1978, 2 albums post 78, 1 solo album, 2 non-makeup albums, 1 live album, 1 compilation, and 1 miscellaneous. Yeah, so there were rules to this draft. And it was awesome. And I think I kind of my strategy was, how can I fuck Tom over? Pick stuff that I know he likes, because I know he won't pick what I like, because we have difference of opinion. So you took Kiss Alive 2. I wasn't going to take. Dynasty. Yeah, I would have. I took Paul Stanley and Killers as my compilation because I love those songs on there.
Yep.
I thought this was a fucking so much fun.
Yeah, I like doing drafts that have rules to them because we've never done a draft that really had strict parameters like this, and this was a good one. Yeah,
I forget which album was the bonus that you took, but the fact of the matter is your Alive album was Kiss Alive 2. My Unlive album was Unplugged. In the end, Tom, I had the one last pick. I had Destroyer or Alive. I took Destroyer, and we're like, nobody took Alive.
I remember that, and it was funny because you were in a no-win situation because you were going to take Destroyer or Alive. Yeah. And you're like, how can I not? I have to take one of these, and whatever one you don't take, people are going to be like, what the fuck?
Oh, and so my favorite part to this was the part where someone's like, how come no one took this? I'm like, God, motherfucker.
You're right.
It's always that person.
You yellow you motherfucker. You dirty, rotten son of a bitch. You're a cocksucker and a motherfucker. You're a whore bastard. You're no fucking good, you son of a...
And that began the 2020 reign of terror of listeners not paying attention to rules on Shout It Out Loudcast.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Why didn't anybody take this? Because it's not in the fucking rules. I couldn't take it.
Yep.
God damn it. But whatever. So we moved on and we did a actual motion picture review. Mm-hmm. So our next episode, 69, Detroit Rock City, the movie. We had me, you, and our friend Murph. I have here under our notes, Tom liked it, Murph liked it, Zeus disliked.
Yep.
Somebody else didn't disliked our review of this movie.
So if you got to check out the episode if you missed it. So we had Murph on this episode because Murph and I saw this in the theaters when it came out. And during the review, Zeus was much more critical than us on the movie, and that's fine. That's why we do these reviews. But generally speaking, Murph and I really, maybe not really, but we enjoyed the movie. enough that like I own the DVD. I would watch it again. I think it's fun. So when we posted it on social media, we tagged the director, which is what we usually do. We try to tag people that might be involved in the thing. Maybe in retrospect, it wasn't a great idea because of all the shit that Zeus gave it, because he responded to our tweet and he's like, "What the fuck? Why did you tag me in this if you're just going to shit all over the movie I made?" And then I responded to him trying to soften the blow and being like, 2 out of 3 people in this episode really enjoyed that film. We thought you'd want to hear people talk about a movie that hasn't been around for a while. And then come to find out he deleted the tweet.
Yeah. Why would you 3 fucking dickheads, especially that asshole Zeus, tag me in this shit? Go fuck yourselves.
Oh, that's what he said. You sound like Artie Lang.
Yeah, he's like, he called me an Artie Lang wannabe. Like,
yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't like your fucking stupid movie.
Right.
I like Kiss in the movie, but it was fucking horribly done.
Yep.
And I'll stand by that review. Although people think I took it too seriously. I know it's a Kiss movie. But, it was still stupid.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
But it's not good, Tom. It's not good.
It's okay.
70. Paul Stanley solo album reviewed. I'm going to tell you right now, that's a top 5 episode of all time for us, meaning by downloads and things like that. Paul Stanley solo album. Love that album. Me and you both went out on a limb with our rankings on that album. I had it extremely high compared to all the other albums. I think I put it over Dress to Kill. I got killed for that. But I love this album.
Yeah. In retrospect, I honestly, I don't think you deserve the beating that you took from people about. I mean, look, Paul Stanley's album is amazing. It's pretty much top to bottom with the, everybody shits on Hold Me, Touch Me, whatever the hell it is. But that album's fucking amazing. So that was a great one doing an album review on that.
Oh, I loved it. Loved it.
Yep.
The thing that I found amazing is it got me to also start appreciating the other ones. Ain't Quite Right. And then all of a sudden I'm like, wait, that Take Me Away? It's kind of epic.
Love it. Yep, right? It is. It's an epic song. Yep.
So the other ones we knew, everyone knows I love It's All Right and Goodbye and stuff. And the other big well-known song, which you love, is like Tonight You Belong to Me. Wouldn't You Like to Know Me? We both love Loving Chains. It's those other ones, the Ain't Quite Right, to Take Me Away, different Kiss type songs. We both were like, holy shit. Yep. And I think a lot of people started gaining respect for those songs. And that's what really, again, why I love doing this podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So episode 71, we had legendary rock author Martin Popoff, fellow Pantheon podcaster on.
This was awesome because I love Martin. He's so well respected with his rock journalism, the books that he's done. And it was great because he's never done anything on Kiss. And we talked to him about that. But just to get his perspective, I mean, he's like a rock scholar. So to hear him talk about Kiss, and I was pleasantly surprised. He really likes Kiss. He wasn't poo-pooing them as some cartoon act. He had a lot of really great things to say. And as a fan of his, I was thrilled to have him on. It was a really good episode.
Yeah, I loved his story about saying when he was in junior high, he had a party in his basement, and all the boys are like, yeah, play this. And we rocked out to Kiss Alive, and then, they look around, all the girls had left.
Yep.
But he is such a class guy.
Oh, yeah.
And I know he's a hero of yours, and you've been a big fan of all his books, and the hat that he's now a Pantheon brother and a friend of ours is amazing. Awesome. Shows you how this podcast has changed both our lives. Episode 72, we called it Turn on the Night, and maybe we knew why we were going to call it that. It was basically, we did a top 10 list of top 10 summer songs of Kiss that we would play in the summer. Both of us easily took Turn on the Night. It wasn't even a question. And what I like the most about this, Tom, is that we both told Bruce and Jericho. Jericho loves this song. Yep. And we told Bruce, and he's like, yeah, really? I'm like, we're like, that song is definitely the best popish, perfect for the 80s. and would have gotten so much more love if it wasn't done by Kiss.
Oh yeah, every time we talk about Turn of the Night, we just keep saying the same thing. How is this not a hit? How is this not a hit? You give this to any other band, Bon Jovi, it would have been number one for 10 weeks. And that was a fun episode because that was like smack in the middle of people were still not knowing what the hell was going on with COVID. Summer was approaching. We didn't know what was going to happen. So we said, let's try to do something fun. Yep. Kind of like driving around in your convertible or whatever, a fun, upbeat kind of party list of summer songs. So that was a good one.
73 best second song from a Kiss studio album. We already started getting the comment. Oh, what are you going to do? The best sixth song from an album? Yeah.
Yes.
We'll get to that.
It's coming. Yep.
Tom, you picked Christine 16, probably from your favorite album, Love Gun. I took King of the Nighttime World. The reason why I took that, it may not be my favorite, but it's also the most fits right after. Because can you imagine anything else after Detroit Rock City? That the way Detroit Rock City ends on Destroyer to write to King of Nighttime World, it's almost, you can't imagine one without the other. So I put that. You took Parasite 2. I took Take It Off. I thought there was a great episode. A lot of fun picking this.
Yep. Oh, anytime we do a top 10, it's always a great time. And this was a fun one because, again, when you look at this, you're like, Jesus Christ, a lot of these number 2 songs could have been like album starters. They're just some of their best songs ever were number 2s. So another good one for sure. Yep.
Then episode 74 comes around. And we had another game show, Kiss BFF game show. Now,
which was our version of the Newlywed Game.
Yes.
Which was a lot of, versus Sonny and Tony from Restrained. Oh boy, this was crazy. This was a lot of fun.
And Steve and BC.
Oh yeah, yes, that's right. And our buddy Murph played the Bob Eubanks of the Newlywed Game. Yes, that was great.
Yep. And so I had the stats here in the end. So in the end, we came in last.
How?
17 points. Second place was Steve and BC, 27. In first, cheating as usual, Sonny and Tony, 30 points.
Yep.
Yeah, those two were like on a different planet. I think one of the songs was like, if you were going to get busy with a girl, what song would you play? And it was like something outrageous, like, what? And he's like, correct.
We're like, yeah, how do you, I'm like, you guys must live together. You must really be BFFs.
Yeah. Those two guys are something else. It was kind of amazing.
Yep.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I like doing that game though, I'll be honest with you.
Yep.
Then we also dropped in between there the first ever live cast in there. Unfortunately, Bob Kulick had passed away then. But skipping over that, we went over to in episode 75, we did Ace Frehley's Trouble Walking. That's the second episode we've ever done of an album by a Kiss member not in Kiss. I think we did Vinnie Vincent's Invasion before that.
Correct.
Which is a much better album. We did All Systems Go versus Trouble Walking, I think. Yep. And we're ranking those as well. And we liked the album. I think both of us are pretty positive on it. And we both had the number one song, 5 Card Stud. We both had that as number one.
Yeah, I was surprised how much I liked this album. I think it's top heavy with the good stuff. I think the stuff that's not great is really not great. Like, for example, Remember Me is the worst song on the album, and you have it ranked second as your second favorite song on the album.
I like that bluesy thing.
But I love this is easily Ace's best album outside of Kiss, in my opinion. It's not even close.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And I like the remake of Do Ya.
Oh.
And I think that's when we got into the whole ELO discussion.
Oh, with Jeff Lynne's afro.
Oh, man. We're up to episode 76. Oh, do we love these? Real Kiss Alive 6, Tom.
Yep.
This time, from Real Kiss Alive, this is where we take 3 albums chronologically from Kiss and make a live album of them as though they did in the first 3 albums of Kiss Alive, the next 3 albums of Kiss Alive too. So this time in this series, we did Kiss albums Asylum, Crazy Nights, and we took the 2 new songs from Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits. The reason we did that is so that eventually what will happen is there'll be 3 albums all the way, and we'll end with Monster as in the last in this series. So, Tom, I believe in this one, you had Crazy Nights opening up and Turn on the Night closing. I had a bad song, King of the Mountain, open up and Turn on the Night closing.
No, we love these albums. This was actually a fun one to make, because I like this kind of run of Kiss albums. You know, it might not be like top loaded with hits, but a lot of the deep cuts on here are great. And you know, we love the real Kiss Alive episodes. This was another good one.
Yeah, and we love to come up with, you know, the forgotten good Gene songs in the 80s.
Exactly. Yes.
Good Girl Gone Bad, Hell or High Water, Secretly Cruel, Any Way You Slice It, No, No, No. Oh, I love that. Thief in the Night. Those are great songs. Besides the obvious is, you know, Let's Put the X in Sex, Crazy Nights, and things like that. But I think that's fun. I love this series that we do, the Real Kiss Alive series.
Absolutely.
So, episode 77, if I can skip over Murph's fucking annoying text that keeps disrupting my phone.
Me too. I'm trying not to look at it.
Yeah. So episode 77, compilation review, Best of Kiss Millennium, 20th Century Masters.
Yeah, a compilation review. So there's a couple different ones of these. There's I think there's 3 of them.
Yep.
And we'll be getting in. We'll be doing all of them. But compilation reviews we love, and you know, this was a good one. Pretty basic because it's kind of like a starter kit for Kiss. But we review it, we talk about it, we kind of discuss the song selection, if we like it or not, what didn't make it, what should have made it. So I enjoy the compilation reviews very much.
And then we rank them in the compilation department. We rank them all.
Exactly. Yep.
And next, episode 78, we started our new segment, Spirit of 76 Tour. The tours, Tom, and we will rank them. We discuss the tour of that time. We look at the set list, and then we create the set list that we would have preferred if had it stayed the same at that tour at that time. So we both had Detroit Rock City, King Nighttime World 2, and I think we had Encore. That's the difference. Your closing for the set list was Rock and Roll Night. Encore closing the concert, Black Diamond. I had it the opposite. Black Diamond closing the regular set list, and then Rock and Roll Night, the end of the encores.
Yep. No, this is a great new segment. We did another one that we'll talk about in a little bit, but yeah, covering the tours, the costumes, the stage, the set list, major events that happened along the tour. Always exciting. And thank God for this segment. There's a ton more to talk about on this one.
79, the Mike Douglas Show. Tom, I got to tell you, another top 5 of all time downloaded episodes, the Mike Douglas Show.
Yep. This was awesome because we took a very short, iconic segment and turned it into an episode that we loved. And obviously you guys did too. And it was just great. Just one of the most iconic moments in history. And again, thank God, just like the tours, thank God there's plenty of these to do because we're going to keep rolling through these too. These TV clips, these TV segments are awesome.
Yeah. And we actually, Tom, we are ranking these as well. We're keeping track of them and ranking them.
That's right.
So yeah, that's another good one that we're doing. So, okay, let's go to episode 80, Tom. Episode 80, we had Ambassador Scott Brown, the United States Ambassador to New Zealand, and former Massachusetts Senator Scott Brown, who incidentally is back now in New Hampshire from over from New Zealand.
That's right. Yep. He's back home in the States, back home in New Hampshire. And what a great, interesting, fun episode that was. Just to talk to somebody who is such a music geek, a Kiss fan, like a rock fan, And that was just a thrill, just being able to talk to him. The local ties with Zeus and I, the Kiss ties, having him be over in New Zealand, during the interview. That was just a blast for us. A lot of fun. Very interesting.
He has a Kiss man cave
Yep.
in the ambassadorship house where he's at. How cool is that?
Mhm.
Such a down to earth. I'm a fucking diehard Democrat. And I was actually on Fox News because I voted for him. If you can find the YouTube clip of that, when I was on Frank Luntz's Fox News and then made it on to Hannity and then made it on to Fox and Friends and then made it on to Neil Cavuto, you win a prize, my friends. Yes, that is true. Way back when Scott Brown won, I was on that. But anyways, Scott Brown was a class act. I like him a lot. And down to earth. And if you don't like Scott Brown, I think that there's something on you, not him.
Exactly. Yep.
Episode 81, album review time again. The Sonny Pooney favorite, Asylum.
Hey, Sonny Pooney, what a piece of shit that guy is now.
This was awesome. We say this all the time. We love the album reviews, and you guys too. And this was an album review where, I obviously I know the album. We all know the albums, but when you do the album review, you really sink yourself into it. And I came away with this one, liking Asylum a little bit more than I did going into it. So this was great, discussing everything. The album cover, the background, the production, the videos, just awesome stuff here with Asylum.
Yeah, I think the top 5 songs were the same by us in just different orders. We both had Tears Are Falling and Secretly Cruel as 1 and 2. But the last 5 were a mixed bag for both of us. Asylum is an interesting album. The big thing I remember about this album was the album cover and how polarizing. Me and you have such various opinions on it. You guys should check out that episode. It's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So next, after that, we have album review part 1. Now, what is that? That is the time that we had come up to 10 albums that reviewed. So we stopped what we were doing and we talked about the 10 albums and we broke down the statistics and we went through the charts and we discussed what album was on top and we actually broke down the songs. This is the first of the many jokes and memes that came from all the Loudcasters out there that kept showing us every fucking meme there is of somebody scratching their head, trying to do math, telling us they don't understand, telling us to dumb it down, and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, this was hilarious. I mean, but that's what we do. We're OCD, ADD, whatever you want to call it. So breaking things down numerically, statistically was a blast. Categorizing things and just the numbers, it was awesome. And when we get to album review 20, you can expect more of this.
Yeah, tons of fun.
Mm-hmm.
83, Kiss Jeopardy 2.
Oh boy, Electric Boogaloo.
Sonny Pooney, the host. This time we got somebody a lot dumber than Chris Cisnak, who's on our Pantheon podcast brother show, Decibel Geek. We grabbed Steve Wright to compete against us from Part of the Hell. This one I ran away with. I mean, me and you both got destroyed the first time. Somehow I came up with 4,000. Steve had 801. Don't ask where the 01 is, and Tom, you risked it all, ended up with 0 at the end. But that's okay. Guess what we all got? Nothing. So what's the difference?
Exactly. We got the same thing that Joey Casada gets. Nothing.
Yeah.
No, we love game shows, and game shows with our buddies like Steve and Sonny just add to it. And you can bet your ass there's going to be a lot more game shows in the future. So,
and Sonny did dumb it down, so that's hence the points.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Episode 84, we had Brian Kennard came on. That's the author of Sean Delaney's Hellbox, the little-known book written basically by Brian using Sean's words. Sean wasn't able to transcribe the book, so he had Brian do it. The book is awesome. I wish it was longer, but that's only, unfortunately, that was left because Sean had died right around the time that came out. Brian came on the show, talked about the book. Awesome time.
Yeah, that was great. What an insightful book, and Brian was great. I mean, we didn't know what to expect when we had Brian on, but come to find out, huge Kiss fan, and the relationship he had with Sean was really awesome. And this was really interesting. So a few days ago on Twitter, somebody posted something about Kiss in the 70s, a performance with Paul wearing the bandit makeup. And then commentary took place, kept going, on Twitter. People start commenting. And somebody on Twitter said, I always wanted to hear more of Sean Delaney's story. And so in response to that, our Greek friend Costa Vucinis responded to him and said, hey, the boys at Shout It Out Loudcast have a great episode where their guest is the guy that wrote Sean's book. So I thanked him. I said, holy shit, thank you for that. And then I responded by sending the link to the episode with our interview with Brian Kennard. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brian, great guy. And we really appreciate coming on here. The book is just spectacular. You got to get that. Sean Delaney's Hellbox. Really good stuff.
Yes, absolutely. Episode 85, Kiss Draft 7, Tom. One word Kiss songs. That's what we came up with. And there are a lot more than you would ever expect. I had the first pick. So I took Deuce from you, Tom. You went with Unholy. I went Radioactive, Parasite, and on down the line. The only part I'm going to bring up is the amount of shit that I got because my last two picks were Stand and Freak.
Literally two of the all-time worst songs in the entire Kiss catalog. And you drafted those, but had Beth and Spit as your honorable mentions.
Oh. And I didn't take Domino either.
No, I know. That's right. But no, that's interesting because there are a lot of one-word song titles.
Yeah, I would have said, well, you did the same because you took Hooligan and Tomorrow.
Oh, two fantastic
And Shandy
songs.
was there in your honorable mentions. Oh,
that's okay.
Episode 86, Tom, Talk to Me Too. So Talk to Me is a segment that we do is we talk about two subject matters that are on our minds that comes up in listener questions or comes up in Kiss news or just debate. And so we want to just air those out and get them and flesh it out, basically. And this year we did lack of the Kiss activity during the pandemic and none other than everybody's hero, Pandemic Paul.
Yeah, this episode was a result of a lot of things that Zeus and I had on our mind that we found ourselves, we kept talking about these things during the news segment, and it was just a lot to talk about. We had a lot of strong opinions about both of these things. So we said, let's just dedicate an episode to it, and people will understand where we're coming from, and we're just going to kind of purge ourselves of the things that are kind of frustrating us. So,
yeah. Then episode 87, Studio versus Live. We brought over our favorite New Yorker, Joey, and we picked 5 songs that we've each felt were better in the studio than the live versions, or 5 songs that were better live than the studio version. Mm-hmm. This was fucking hard, but it was a lot of fun. Tom, you took Hotter Than Hell. I took Firehouse. Joey took Black Diamond, as though those songs are better live than the studio version.
Okay.
Now, for studio version being better than the live version, you took Unholy. I took I Want You. Joey took Beth.
Wow. Yep. This is a great topic. A lot of strong opinions on this as well, because so many live albums and a lot of people love the live albums so much more than the studio. But there's a lot of songs on here where we had differing opinions on what we like. And it was interesting because Zeus's number one favorite live better than studio was Firehouse. And I had the reverse as an honorable mention. I prefer the studio version of Firehouse over the live version.
Yeah.
So that was a fun topic, and having Joey on just made it even more fun.
Yeah. Then definitely top 5, currently number 2.
Yep.
Our legendary interview, episode 88 with Carrie Stevens.
Wow. if you're listening to this episode, you've listened to that one, and wow, she was just amazing. A lot to say, strong opinions, unfiltered, no holes barred. It was pretty amazing for us to have her on and to have her just talk like that. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say quite different. She's been on a lot of podcasts promoting her excellent book that's out there, and we all know it because, we've all had it. Carrie is the former girlfriend of Eric Carr and a former playmate. Actually, I shouldn't say former. As she said, you're never a former. You're always a playmate. Mm-hmm. Business entrepreneur. And she's the author of the great book, Unrated, Revelations of a Rock and Roll Centerfold. Yep. Awesome book. Go out. It's still available right now. I believe the audio version is coming out shortly. Mm-hmm. And the hardcover book is still in stock. So go out and get it. It's well worth it. She has VIP parts too. You can get certain things. So check it out. Carrie Stevens, legendary interview with her. She didn't hold anything back, specifically when it came to Paul. You got to listen to it. Episode 89, Land of Hype and Glory.
I love this one. This was great. This was another TV bit, 1977 NBC mini documentary. We found the full-length version of it. There's a small clip of it on Kissology, but it was great. It talks about the brand versus the band and the hype, and it was extra awesome for me because it was Kiss during the Love Gun era. A lot of Alive 2 Love Gun footage, a lot of scenery and footage that you don't normally find anywhere. Again, the Kissology just has a very small clip. The full-length video is about 17 minutes long, I believe. So this was great. We kind of just broke this down, analyzed what we liked and what we didn't like about it. We talked about the curmudgeon-y host, Edwin Newman. And that was great. That was a good one for me. I enjoyed that a lot.
It's described as hype. He made fucking Ted Koppel seem like relaxed and cool and fun.
Exactly. Yep.
This is Ted Koppel. I repeat, buckwheat has been shot. I'll never forget that. SNL. Was it Joe Piscopo played him?
Yes.
Once again, buckwheat has been shot. You didn't expect that one, did you?
Oh, man.
I live to make Tom laugh. That's all I do. Anyways, episode 90, Tom. Album review time. Album review time. This time, Monster. Ooh.
Rough.
What?
This was
Kissel.
Yeah, this was rough. I mean, I love album reviews, but this was worse than doing a bonus review pick by Pooney. I mean, this was rough.
This one was looking rough.
She was looking good.
This one.
What are you gonna do?
So the thing specifically about this album review I remember is like how you took Take Me Down Below #1.
Hell yeah.
Hell Hallelujah should be. And I think the other fun part about this is that you were so shocked that how much I like the song Freak and the amount of the beatdown that you give the Eric song on this.
Yeah, it was rough. It's just, look, I know everybody's like, oh, it's Kiss. It is. And there are some songs on there that are tolerable, but there's nothing really on here that I seek out. I do enjoy Take Me Down Below because it's kind of Paul and Gene, it's kind of got the dirty, sexy lyrics, but the rest of the album is lyrically, it's just bad. Production bad.
I think we both liked Back to the Stone Age. Din, 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 din.
I like it. We did, but we both agreed. The lyrically and production wise, it was just garbage.
Yeah, bad job, Paul. So yeah, that was album review time. So there's nothing better than doing album reviews for me, at least.
Yep.
Then episode 91, we got negative.
No, we didn't get negative. Not on this, really. But we had our buddy Baco, and he came over and we discussed the the long report that he did when he wrote for Decibel Geek, when he ranked every single Kiss song. And that was a ton of fun because we kind of broke down some highlights and lowlights of that list with him. And that was great. Talking with Baco, especially talking Kiss with Baco, is always entertaining.
He makes us look so positive.
Oh, God,
I love
yeah.
it. I love it.
Yeah.
And we loved his sense of humor. I think it was great having him on. Another new friend of the show. Go listen to Cobras and Fire. Plus, he's a grunge guy. How can you not love him?
Exactly.
So that was a lot of fun. But you know what was great about this? He said he's discussed this list on so many other podcasts. But our podcast had one person that looked at his list and was like, I forget the song. I was like, hey, you're missing so-and-so. And he's like, oh, fuck, I did. I did miss a song.
Yep.
And it's like a pretty popular one. He's like,
I want to say it was, I Just Wanna or something from Revenge.
Yeah, something like
Yeah.
that. He's like, only your listeners as the only ones that ever caught on to that.
Yep.
So that's because we have the best. We have the best listeners. We do.
Absolutely.
Fucking awesome.
Yep.
So that was Baco's list at 91. Sadly, we had to do this episode at 92. Van Halen and Kiss.
Yeah, we had Sonny Pooney join us for this. It was the right after the tragic passing of Eddie Van Halen. And we had kind of talked about doing, an episode anyways about this because we know the connection between Eddie and Gene and some of the demos and, the rumors about Eddie joining Kiss, et cetera. So it came out great. Yeah, it was a little bit of a somber episode, but it was also, I thought it was interesting. Little peek inside some history there. So that was a good one. Having Sonny on to kind of break that down as well made it extra special.
Yeah, and another thing, I put a little smile on my face. I'm sad about losing Eddie Van Halen, but the smile comes from the fact that the last minute we were like, you know what? Let's just change what we had planned. Let's call Sonny, see if he can do it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in. I'll do it.
Yep.
Drop what he was doing as a friend, as the fucking best podcaster out there, Sonny Pooney. Hate to fucking admit it, but that may be true. Jumped
Agreed.
on our show and was fucking awesome.
Yep.
That's what kind of a guy he is. We give him shit all the time because he has 2,000 burner accounts. But other than that, he's a fucking great friend, a great friend of the show, an awesome co-host with us on the bonus episodes, and we love Sonny.
And generally a horrible musical opinion.
And a horrible taste in women.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Listen
Second
to our
thought,
new...
fuck him.
Fuck him. Oh,
Anyway,
God.
Episode 93, Tom, back to the Real Kiss Alive segment.
Yes.
Real Kiss Alive 7. Woo.
Yeah,
Up
this was...
to number 7, Tom.
Yeah, this was a tough one. This was Hot in the Shade, Revenge, and Carnival of Souls. This was a tough one for me personally because this was Hot in the Shade, Revenge, and Carnival of Souls. This was a ton of fun to put together. Maybe my favorite of all the Real Kiss Alives because I just love these three albums. But the only problem with this one was that now that means we're stuck with Psycho Circus, Sonic Boom, and Monster. And then we're all done with the Real Kiss Alive series.
I think the one that we did with the Elder and I think Unmasked might be my favorite.
That was good.
Because I think Stephen Michael is the one who said it was like, I fucking listened to you guys put a concert together using songs from that.
We took the songs from the original songs off Killers, Unmasked, and The Elder, and we loved it.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yep.
This was by far the hardest one I think I've had to do.
Yeah.
I couldn't, there were so many songs I wish that we could put in there.
Yep.
It was awesome though. I love it. We had different types of songs. The only problem I thought with this era was like, what are you going to do for Blood? What are you going to do for, things like that demon shit for Gene? But well. Episode 94, Mark St. John. Tom, this was our second KISS member retrospective. And we discussed Mark St. John's tragic life, which, ended very young.
Yeah. Yeah, this was, I mean, the band retrospectives, we did one on Peter, our first year. We did this one. He's a member of KISS and he deserves to have his story told, but it was very, very somber, very sad. Just a tough life and definitely a tough ending to his life and what he had to deal with. But, he has a story and he's part of history. So we wanted to tell it.
And we ranked his 7 songs he played on. Because like all KISS guitarists, they don't play on all the tracks. So he only played on 7 of the Animalized tracks. And we picked the songs based on what was Mark's best performance, or we liked the best guitar. Yep. So we both had, it wasn't even close. I've Had Enough as number 1 and Under the Gun as number 2.
Yep. No doubt.
Absolutely. Episode 95, we reviewed Scooby-Doo and KISS Rock and Roll Mystery. This one we did, Tom, was on Halloween, following our Halloween theme every year. We'll see what we do next year. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, actually, surprisingly.
Yeah, it was. The movie, it is what it is. It's fun. It's KISS. It's when KISS wasn't taking themselves too seriously. I think one of my favorite parts of this episode is me and you breaking down and getting angry with the convoluted storyline. Like,
yeah. Wait a minute, how did that happen? What were they doing here? This is,
it doesn't make any sense. How could this have happened? And then we get feedback. Guys, it's a fucking Scooby-Doo movie. What's the matter with you? Be like, well, we need to figure out why.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Pesky kids.
Yeah. That was good, though. That definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen the movie.
Episode 96, we kept up with our KISS Mailbag tradition, KISS Mailbag 2.
Electric Boogaloo, of course. We love the mailbag episodes. We love when you guys reach out to us and send us emails, questions, however you communicate with us for the questions. Then we do the annual mailbag episode. So these are always a blast. And these aren't scripted or scheduled. We literally pull them out and just answer them right as I'm reading them. So these are always fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are a ton of fun. And they're always a surprise. You never know what we're going to get.
Yep.
Episode 97, the Hot and Shade Tour. So our second segment of the tours, and this was a sentimental one for Tommy because this is the first time he saw KISS. And a lot of people say this is the best non-makeup tour.
Yeah, this was great. I hope you guys check this one out because this was great for multiple reasons. Nostalgia for me, my first KISS show, and just the show was just amazing. The set list, the stage, the setup, KISS coming back, quote unquote, just lots to talk about. And, our second tour episode, and this was a great one.
And then we broke down the set list and came up one of our own. And you can tell when this set list, they started bringing back the KISS classics that they had not been playing. So a lot of the makeup songs started coming back. So this was a great episode. I loved it. A lot of fun.
Yep.
Episode 98, we kept the Happy Kiss Giving tradition going with Happy Kiss Giving 2.
Electric Boogaloo. You're going to keep getting that. So
yeah, it's all right. We love it. And we kept the tradition alive by bringing Murph back for this as we did last year. So all three of us each ranked the 5 things that we were thankful for. This is always kind of a sentimental kind of episode for us because, we're always going to include something about you guys, the fans. And, we each had things. Tom had the Loudcasters. I had originality, that we kept coming up with original ideas, and we hope that we're thankful that we can continue to do so. Murph had the fucking song Shandy.
I love it. I love that. He did that just to fuck with you, and I love it.
I know. That motherfucker. Anyways, and then, we each list 5 things. It's fantastic. So that's our Kiss Given tradition. Mm-hmm. Episode 99, we had an opportunity to talk with Neil Davis and Phil Schaus, who are going to be, creator and performer in Kiss Masquerade, which we discussed earlier in the show. And they wanted to come on the show, so we stopped what we were doing, threw them in on this episode, 99, and had a fun interview with those guys and talked about the show. And those guys, hit it basically out of the park with this show. So we were glad to have them on, and they really did a good job and lived up to the expectations.
Yeah, no, it was a fun episode because we got to promo and talk about the event, and we covered that in the news section at the beginning of this episode, and then kind of picked their brains a little bit about Kiss. Tried to get a couple things out of Phil, which was great because we know he plays with Gene and Ace, and then we've been in touch with Phil about having him on for a future episode to really focus on what he's done in the Kiss world with Gene and Ace. So no, that was a good episode and another way of kind of expanding the reach of Shout It Out Loudcast.
Great time. Yep. Then we get to the epic episode 100. Kiss Draft 8, Bruce Kulick Draft, where we had, Tom and I from the Shout It Out Loudcasters had Bruce Kulick on our show. We also had friend Chris Jericho. Yes, friend. On our show, and we did a draft. We draft Bruce Kulick's own draft. So Bruce was basically drafting himself on our show.
Yeah. If you talk about a couple things that you're thankful for in the shit year that 2020 was, this is very high on the list for us. What a thrill to not only reach 100 episodes, but to celebrate it with Bruce Kulick and Jericho. Unbelievable episode. You guys obviously loved it, and we still think about it and talk about it all the time. Great, great stuff.
Number one episode in Shout It Out Loudcast history.
By far.
Yeah. It's broken all our records. Sorry, Carrie. We did the draft. Bruce had the first pick. He took Tears Are Falling. Chris took Unholy. I took Forever. Tom took I Just Want Her. Oh, yep. Wow. Those four songs. Unbelievable. It's still like one of those things that I am still so proud of. You guys talk about, we still get mail on it. We still get comments on it. And the one thing that I love the most is the comment that we get the most. And that is, wow, you guys found a creative way to Bruce to give comment on every song that he basically touched.
Yep.
And it worked. And it was, the chemistry was tremendous. Bruce was so kind and gracious as you can expect. And Chris, what a guy, man. He's helped us out so much the past 2 years. I mean, we joke with him and stuff like that, but he's a great guy.
Absolutely.
And we were both very, very lucky to have them on. And we're thankful for their contributions. And hopefully we'll have them on again soon enough.
Yep,
you
definitely.
Never know. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Oh, and the other big thing about the show, which was breaking, was that Bruce played the rap version of Paralyzed.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I think Chris is still telling you, Tom, quiet. I'm trying to listen.
Quiet down. Quiet. Stop talking. Like, okay, I didn't realize I was in the Chris Jericho Memorial Library.
Oh, that's funny. Episode 101, we tried to top it. We'll always try to top it. We had Kiss Festivus 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Kiss Grievances. Me and you, Tom. Number one for you, not enough Bruce and Eric Carr sung songs. My number one, which I didn't even put it on the poll because I didn't want to deal with you guys giving me shit about it, was how annoying Ace was this year.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody says I was the most popular guy. Yeah, people say that I was the coolest guy in Kiss. Yeah, people say I'm the most handsome man. And people say that my nose is perfect. Like, shut the fuck up. He was annoying the shit out of me at that point.
Yep. I don't blame you.
I wish you still would shut the fuck up.
Yep.
And do like Peter's doing and get back into Kiss. I'm yelling at you because we love you, motherfucker. Exactly. Shut your mouth and be kind.
Yep.
Anyways, that was a lot of fun. We love the airing of the Kiss grievances because we're both Seinfeld fans, and it's a lot of fun to do this. So, up to episode 102, we're not going to get into it because we kind of got into it in the beginning of the episode where we described it. Episode 102 is Merry Kissmas 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Kissmas Wishes. So this is where Tom, me, Sonny, Joey Casada, Steve from Potter Than Hell, Ed from Click Tea Shop, Stephen Michael from Growing Up Rock, Baco from Cobras and Fire, Murph, Tony from the band Restrained, and the gorgeous Carrie Stevens. We each talked about our 3 Christmas wishes, and we were visited by the 3 Christmas ghosts in Private Cusano. And
Absolutely.
Always a lot of fun to do the Christmas wishes. So that was episode 102. So, Tom, that was basically the year in review.
What a year. I mean, our first year was amazing because we were just kind of getting our feet wet. We were getting the word out. You know, we had some great guests on that first year. You know, we had Jericho on our first year. It was spectacular. 2020, I feel like we took a big leap, especially with having Bruce Kulick on. I mean, how can you not measure that? But, you know, we had a great list of guests here that I kind of put together. I know we just run them down, but, you know, other than guests such as our podcast friends, we had Greg Prato, the author, Mitch LaFon from Rock Talk with Mitch LaFon, Joey Casada, author, drummer extraordinaire, Martin Popov, author, rock journalist, Scott Brown, ambassador, who, God bless him, he's home safely back in the States, author Brian Kennard, the beautiful and awesome Carrie Stevens, Phil Schaus from the Gene and Ace bands, and the great and spectacular, wonderful, every other word you can think of, Bruce Kulick. I mean, what a year for us. And I'm proud of us, but I also want to thank all the listeners out there for making this show what it is and growing this show so that we can get guests like this on here, so that people want to come on here and get the feedback and get the interaction from all of you out there. You guys have made 2020 an unbelievable year for us. I know it's been a shit year for a lot of people personally, hopefully not professionally, hopefully not financially, you know, hopefully you guys are surviving, but we feel that Shout It Out Loudcast has been so much fun for us, and we hope that we have done that for you as well.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that, and I don't want to get too sentimental because we've done that on a lot of these episodes, but none of this could be done without basically you guys. And the fact that you guys keep listening, keep interacting, makes it fun for us. And we said we would continue doing this until it's not fun. Well, If you guys are interacting and enjoying this, then it's fun. And we will continue doing this. We hope that you guys will stay with us through some changes in the show. And changes, I mean additions, not subtractions. We might have a few other creative ideas coming down the pipeline. We've been teasing them for quite some time. And you'll see some new changes, some new things coming up. And we hope that you will like them. But we're not going to take away from the KISS podcast at this point. We have no whatsoever thoughts of changing our weekly KISS show. So that will continue. If we do anything, it'll be additional.
Absolutely.
So please stay with us. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. Interact with us. We love the feedback. We love that basically when I look at my timeline, it's filled with shit that I have to get back to or stuff that Tom has to tell me about because there's so much of it.
Yep.
You should have seen the first time when we started getting our first interaction with people originally. Like, okay, I got to get more. Now it's hard keeping up with it, and I love it. Love it. So keep it up, boys and girls. Keep sending us stuff. Keep talking with us. Keep communicating, and we'll keep trying to give you another great season of Shout It Out Loudcast. And finally, I also want to tip my hat to my partner over there, Mr. Tom, who doesn't know I'm going to say it, but thank you for allowing me to do this podcast, because without us as a team, this doesn't work. So I have other great friends. It won't work with them. I have other people that may be more experienced in podcasting world. It won't work with them. I have other people that I may no longer. It ain't going to work. It only works because it's me and you. You know what I mean by that. there's a sense of things that I know you're thinking, or when you see a text, or when you see something get sent to you on your email, and I get it too. That where's the screenshot Tom's going to send me any minute now? There's something there that it can't explain it. There's that sense of humor when we'll say something like, and I'll fill in the blank. Oh, okay, fucking fill in the blank name. That we'll die laughing. Or if I just text you a name of somebody that I know it can make you laugh. You can't put words into it, guys, of doing something like this with somebody that you enjoy doing this with. So if you were thinking about doing a podcast and you want to do it and you're like, oh, should I do it? So find the person that makes you want to laugh and they make you laugh. There's nothing better than that. Chemistry cannot be hidden. Okay? So I don't care who fucking throws out more knowledge or this and that, or this guy's been doing it long. Find that connection. That chemistry is way more important than anything else. And so I want to end with that, saying that thank you, Tom, because without you and I and that chemistry, this doesn't work. So thank you.
Well, my friend, you caught me off guard. I wasn't prepared for anything like that, but I couldn't agree more. And it's I'm glad to see that everybody else out there knows and sees what we see with each other and why this show is the show that it is. So thank you, my friend, for that. And Shout It Out Loudcast is just getting started. I can promise you guys that.
Ooh, you sound like Paul there.
We're just getting started.
That's right. All right, Tom, before we end the episode, we always go to questions next. What do you got?
All right. So this is a question from our good friend Heavy Mayo.
Oh, yes.
But I think it's tongue-in-cheek, half joking, because if it's not, I don't know the answer. Actually, I don't know the answer anyways, but he says, I have a question regarding the legality of ghost players on Dynasty and Unmasked, or in general. What royalties are expected for Bob Kulick and Anton Fig? I don't know. Number 2, in the area of fraud, if I buy an album expecting Peter and Ace, and I was led down the road of deceit, are they guilty of fraud? Now, I know it's like, haha, that's kind of funny. If you stop for a second, it's kind of like, okay, you're paying for a Kiss album because you love Gene, Paul, Peter, and Ace. And then you find out half the band wasn't even on the fucking album. So, I mean, guilty of fraud, obviously there's nobody guilty of anything. But in terms of royalties, that's a question. I know we have listeners out there that know tons of this kind of shit. If you know the answer to this exactly, tell us, because I'm not 100% sure. Zeus, I'm not sure what you know about this.
All right. So a couple things. Number 1, good luck with that fucking lawsuit for fraud.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this is the kind of stupid shit, no offense, that people throw out there all the time. Like, oh, yeah, I'm going to win $1 million. I'm going to sue because it's not really Kiss on this CD. Okay, good luck with that. It doesn't make a difference. Kiss is a corporation.
Right.
Do you know? I don't know. Like at all times when they did Asylum, who was in the band? Was Bruce signed on the contract at that point? Like, who fucking knows? Right. They're going to put out a CD and they're going to say these people are the members of the Kiss. Does it have to say when you buy a CD, what does a member consist of? What are their rules? Is a member meaning they have to play every instrument on the album, on every song? There's no rules to this shit. They can say whatever they want. You buy it, you buy it. Fuck off. Now, as far as songwriting goes, it depends. That's why you had the problems with Ozzy and all things like that. Was there any fraud, deceit, and saying, yeah, we'll set you up later. Just do this now. Or is it, I got paid $1,000 to help me write songs? There are a lot of doing it. A lot of country musicians that I know are famous for that stuff. Willie Nelson used to sell his songs. Before he became the famous singer, he used to write songs for everybody else. Crazy. The probably biggest country song of all time. He wrote that for Patsy Cline. He wrote a lot of songs for a lot of people. And he'd be like, I'll sell you this for $500. And people would buy it, sell the song, make a huge hit out of it. Eventually, he got wise and started recording some of his own shit. There was one guy, it's a good legendary story. The guy said, no. I'll give you $500 as a loan. Keep the fucking song. This is going to be a hit for you someday, and you're going to want that money.
Yep.
And so he kept the song and he kept the title, and he got the royalties. It became a #1 country smash. And Willie Nelson never forgot the guy for the kindness that he showed him. And he said, "Oh, thank you." Now he's getting royalties off that song because I think it was Hello Walls. And that was Farron Young, I think, did it. But if you look at every like fucking country compilation of the great songs in the 60s and stuff like that, that's on there. And he's getting royalties from that. Instead of saying, "Thanks, $500, that's in my pocket. That's my song now." It depends on what you're doing. It sucks. But if you sell it for $500, that's what you get. Think of Rocky the movie. Rocky, Sylvester Stallone tried to sell the script, and they bought it, and he's like, no. I have to play Rocky. And they're like, "You don't have to fucking play Rocky. I bought the script." He's like, "No, I won't sell it to you unless I get to play him in the movie."
Right.
But if he sold it to him, they'd say, "Fuck off. It's our movie now." Just like Michael Jackson bought the songs from the Beatles. And they're like, "What are you doing putting all these fucking songs of ours in commercials? We don't want that shit. You don't own it anymore."
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So if you put your name on that and you own it, that's your fucking right to it. So no, he's not going to get anything unless if he got paid to help me write this song and there was no agreement, nothing put in writing, if you get a song credit and you get paid for it, you get royalties in the sense because there's a royalty for songwriting. I don't know how it gets split, but there is for that stuff. But if you're not on there and you help them write the song and you were never, like shortchanged for it, you were just paid a flat fee, that's nothing. That's what you got. You got nothing.
What if he wants to sue Kiss because he bought Unmasked and Shandy is on it?
Then he'd win. He'd play it and say, "I rest my case."
That being said, Heavy Mayo, we love you, buddy. We love your interaction. And my advice to you is to just put on Dynasty and Unmasked and enjoy them for the fucking awesome albums that they are.
Your face is my case.
Exactly.
So, Tom, people don't really know how to find us, so why don't you tell them?
Yeah, so our email is probably the best way. shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Please reach out to us, comment, feedback, criticize, show ideas. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, all that good stuff. And we will either respond or we'll read it on the air. And then we're on all the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We love the interaction. Twitter is probably the place to be. We're interactive on all the other places too. Facebook, we have a great group, the Shout It Out Loudcasters group. It's a great place to post pictures, ask questions, start discussions, all that great stuff. And our show is part of the great Pantheon podcast network. We're on all the major platforms there, of course, Spotify, Apple Podcast, all the other ones. You can find us. We're there. And Pantheon has tons of awesome shows. They keep growing their library of content, tons of great stuff. And of course, we always talk about our buddy Ed from Click Tea Shop, Click with a K. Ed designed our awesome show logo, and you can buy Shout It Out Loudcast merch on his website, as well as other awesome Kiss-inspired gear, T-shirts, coffee mugs, pillows, everything. Ed's a great guy, so give him your business. Check him out at Click Tea Shop, Click with a K.
Yeah, and keep those direct messages coming. We love getting them. We love interacting with you guys. You can hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. And again, the email, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. And please give us one of those 5-star child reviews. We got one from our buddy that we love to read his stuff, Kevin Jepson. So Kevin went on and he actually told us too, "Hey, fuckos, I finally did a review for you guys. I've never ever done one before." And he loved to tell us that. Anyways, Kevin put this in: best Kiss podcast ever. This one on Apple iTunes. I remember when I first saw these guys come up as a new Kiss podcast. Ugh, we don't need more.
Yeah, you do.
I decided to listen on the third one. Wow. Tom and Zeus are so unique and funny. Hold nothing back. I can't say enough. The comedy is second to none. This podcast should be in the comedy charts. Through the awful 2020 year, the year of the pandemic, they have helped me and many others get through and laughed way too much. A must listen for Kiss fans and, more importantly, non-Kiss fans. My favorite podcast ever. Kiss 6 stars for me.
Wow. We told you how much we love Kevin at the beginning of the episode. Great guy. Hope to meet him someday. Maybe on the Kiss cruise. Who knows? But Kevin's a friend of the show. And Kevin, we thank you for that, buddy. Really appreciate that.
I think Kevin sent us a message, and he got the Shout It Out Loudcast shirt. He got it, and he wore it on the last Kiss cruise. And he was the first one to tell us that he got the first Shout It Out Loudcast shirt.
That's correct. You're right. I remember that. Yep. Awesome. We love Kevin. Good guy. Yep. Great guy.
And hopefully we'll see him on the Kiss cruise.
You never know what's going to happen with that.
Yep. So that being said, Tom, famous last words.
Some words for the end of the year and starting off 2021. Now, listen. If you want to be a singer or play guitar, man, you got to sweat or you won't get far. Because it's never too late to work 9 to 5. You can take a stand or you can compromise. You can work real hard or just fantasize, but you don't start living till you realize. Yeah.
All right. Got to top that. I don't know if I can, but I want to know how far to go taking my life in my hands. Yeah. Out on my own, fighting alone. Call me the desperate man.
Oh, God.
What's the next one? Eric Carr, crazy drums. Danger, danger.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. Love that song. Love Eric's drumming. Love Paul's vocals. Oh, love that song, Danger. But anyway, listen, everybody, Happy New Year. Please stay safe. Be kind to one another. Wear your fucking masks. And let's get this year out and head into the new year with nothing but positivity and success and health to everyone.
Absolutely. Guys, Happy New Year. Enjoy it, but be safe. Be smart. Make the right decisions, but have some fun. Try to celebrate the ending of this godforsaken year. If you want, go back and start listening to old Shout It Out Loudcast episodes in the background. Go back and put on the Bruce draft or one of our album reviews. Have yourself some laughs. We thank you guys so much, and we can't wait to get 2021 started. So we love you guys. Happy New Year. Be safe and be good.
Peace out, Girl Scout.